Abigail here with the Tarotscopes for Libra season, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. All right, my Sagittarians, we are coming straight off of an eclipse into Libra season. I do have a longer video with the astrology for Libra season, so you can check that out. It will be linked below. But just kind of the quick overview, everything that enters Libra goes into a grand trine with Uranus and with Pluto, and then is opposing Neptune. So the beginning of Libra season is a lot, especially with that eclipse energy, especially with Mars is also going to be smacking into a nice little square with Pluto. So there's a lot of rebirth and growth, and it's important to know whether you watch my astrology video or not. I do think there's a really lovely energy around our Libra new moon on the 13th, but there's the energy of 2025 is not easy, and we're not really going to get into any kind of stability until 2026. And I just keep telling people that. Doesn't mean good things aren't going to happen. It just means it's still going to feel very fluid until we kind of move into more secure transits. But we now have your oracle card, which is Aletheia. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, but it is the name of the goddess of truth in the Greek pantheon. Obviously not as well known as some of the bigger Olympians, but it is about revelation. If you look at the dark to white and the shadows, there's truth coming. There are revelations coming in your life. This, I guarantee, has a lot to do with that Pluto trine and Mars square. And, you know, as the planets continue to move into Scorpio and move through Libra, every planet's going to have these moments with Pluto and these moments with Aries and all of the other signs and planets that are connected. So this, for my Sagittarians, is about truth. Also, if you have lost your way a little bit, this is the time for regrounding and recentering. That grand trine is really pulling people back in. And if people refuse to be pulled back in, it will set them more topsy-turvy than they were before. So stay grounded if you can. But this oracle card is about what you are going to find in Libra season, which is truth and balance. It also is, you know, Scorpio is getting Mars, its favorite planet, its ruler. And when Mars goes into Scorpio, a lot of stuff gets dug up and brought to the surface and brought to light. And it really depends on how much you wish to participate in this energy. You can choose with this card to ignore what is happening, but I would encourage you not to. I would encourage you to recognize when people are saying who they are, when you're being told by actions and by behavior of who someone is, and that you make a conscious choice how you wish to continue the relationship. I'm not saying you have to cut people off. I am just saying that you need to be aware of the choices that you're making in Libra season. And to kick it all off, we have this lovely card, the Wheel of Fortune. There are tons of possibilities in Libra season, a lot of entanglement and threads to be unraveled. And you are going to need to participate in order to get the things that you want. The Wheel of Fortune is very much, you know, in some sense, what goes up must come down, but also in the sense, if you don't play, you'll never win. I mean, and if you play, you might also lose, but you're also never going to know if you're going to win. And so you are going to have to play, and part of playing is going to be smashing some of the illusions that you have around the way the world works and around your own life and your relationships. And yeah, once the illusions are smashed, you can decide to do whatever you want, but it is going to create a bit of tension in Libra season. I just want you to be aware of that, especially since we have this lovely Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands is about delays. It's also about this idea of having the higher ground and being right, but still having to advocate for yourself and to defend your point of view and to defend what you want to do, because other people cannot see what you can see from the vantage point you are at. So you are going to have to really believe in the stuff that you are doing this season, and, you know, be open to criticism and like people maybe giving you advice, but to recognize that everyone has their own reason for why they do things. And at the end of the day, it's really just important that you know what your reason is and that you connect to that reason and that desire and your own personal power in things. Part of the reason I also say this, Son of Swords. This is a time to take a journey of the mind. This is a time to do pros and cons list. is the time to do mental exercises to see if things are the way you would like them to be, if they happen a certain way. This is also the time to explore new thoughts and ideas and new beliefs. Sagittarius is about belief and prophecy and higher knowledge and wisdom, being ruled by Jupiter. And so this is a great time to cultivate that. It's also a great time to be aware of what you are participating in. If you are participating in stuff that isn't ethical, I just encourage you to be consciously aware of what you are doing. Um, and if you are participating in something that is gray, which is also fine, you just need to recognize that you're not really dealing in black and whites. You are dealing in gray. And that changes the way that you advocate for yourself and you advocate for others. I do think with this grand air trine, we're going to have a lot of stuff coming up about AI and the ethics of it, and the fact that we don't have any real laws surrounding it, and that a lot of court cases are coming up about it. So this is my call out to my Sagittarians, because you guys are very likely to use things like this because of your kind of forward thinking, and I'm not guilting you or shaming you. I just want you to be aware of what you are participating in and recognize the consequences or the lack thereof, just so you can stay true to yourselves. Your choices are your choices, but recognize what you are participating in and what you are advocating for. This can also be you feeling the other way about things and not wishing to participate in stuff and resisting and refusing. And I also encourage you to know why you were doing it, to understand the histories of such things. This Page of Swords is about investigation. It's about seeking knowledge. It's about moving through things quickly. I encourage you to do this as well. Also, to never forget that Uranus is in opposition to the early degrees of Sagittarius. It will eventually move into Taurus, but we're looking at 7 years of a Uranus opposition. You are going to be challenged on these topics all the time, and you're going to start to notice these progress and tech and higher knowledge and things like that are going to become really important to you and your Sagittarian placements. Pardon me. And also something I just tell people, if you're dabbling in opening up your practice to things like AI, just know that you don't know where the information goes. And while I am comfortable doing that with spirits who are not man-made, I don't trust humans enough to believe that that's okay. And I'm not sure why I'm going off on this spiel on this in particular, but someone needs to hear this. So if this is you, please listen. It is less about right and wrong in this moment, even though you are going to be challenged in that way. It is more about you making a conscious choice in the ways in which you decide to participate in these topics. And also, a lot of my Sagittarians are really good at seeing the benefits of things, shifts and changes. Recognize who it's truly benefiting. Recognize power structures. Recognize who you serve in this moment. We also have the Hermit. This is the card of the year. We are on a journey in the dark, seeking truth, seeking knowledge, seeking insight. The Hermit is a difficult teacher because it often leaves us in isolation, kind of stumbling in the dark with our little light of truth. But know that it is for a reason that you are going through these kind of crises of conscience, this need to sort through your desires and your dreams. Sagittarians are incredibly powerful. You push things ahead a lot. Be aware of the power that you have and how you are using it and who you're influencing. A lot of Sagittarians and Pisces people, Jupiter, are very influential. So recognize your influence and recognize that you still have a lot to learn while also knowing an incredible amount. And neither of those things, especially in this Libra season, discount the other. Last but not least. Oh, I got 2 cards. Oh, I thought I'd pull one. We have the 5 of Wands and we have the 10 of Swords. Libra season is overwhelming. It is partially because we're coming off the eclipse. It's partially all of the massive air trine energy we are going to be swept up in. Be gentle with yourself. Take your time. Pick your battles, knowing that you have a finite measure of, energy right now. Especially when it comes, there's just a really strong pull right now from Spirit about internet spaces and comment sections and places that you find yourself online or with technology. Just be careful of what is draining your energy. Get out of the comment sections if they are too much. Stand on business when it's important, but don't argue with people who just argue for argument's sake, unless for some reason that gives you energy. But be aware of how you are inputting and outputting energy and where you're getting it from. If you are feeling overwhelmed this season, I would encourage a tech detox and to get out a bit more, because I think a lot of your energy is being pulled by technology right now, and you need some space to really get back to the ethos of who you are and really sort through this kind of crisis of truth and conscience and ethics that you're going through right now. Anyways, my loves, that is my reading. Rather technical, if I do say so myself. I hope it is helpful. If it doesn't feel like it applies to you, then I would suggest looking at your other placements. But I do have a sneaky feeling that a lot of my Sagittarians are really in the kind of midst of making decisions around ethical use of things, who you're buying from, things like that. And this was also a message that came through for Libra. So you're in with a good crowd. All right. I love you all. I will see you in a different space and time. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy my content, and blessed Libra season.